Become a member of the National At-Home Dad Network, an organization focused on providing advocacy, community, education, and support. Connecting with households where dad is the primary caregiver of the children. We do this through our webinar and podcast series, mental health support groups, regular online social events, as well as our annual convention. The National At-Home Dad Network is a 100% volunteer organization. Without the generous support of its members and the community around it, we would not be able to continue the work that we do. Becoming a member gives you access to past convention speaker presentations, the ability to vote for board members annually, and ensures that the organization's fees and bills are in positive standing. Oh yeah, it should not go unmentioned that there is some cool swag headed your way if you decide to become a member. For only $35 a year, your membership provides you with the exclusive content only we can generate, and you'll be supporting an organization that benefits families all around the country and world. By advocating for them, offering them community, providing education and guidance, and supporting them to grow in their parenthood journey. And one last thing, if you contribute $500 or more, you will become a lifetime member. Not only will you receive everything already mentioned, but also a certificate recognizing your status and an exclusive National At-Home Dad Network challenge coin with our trademark logo, Dads Don't Babysit. So, what are you waiting for? Become a member today. Welcome to Home Dad Chat, brought to you by the National At-Home Dad Network. My name is Brock.
My name is Danny.
And we are here to talk about life as stay-at-home dads. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
No, I don't want much. I even love handmade crafts made of macaroni. Come on now, you should know me. Times I might eat too much. No worry about my weight. Got the dad bod rocking on me. Sketches on my feet. Cargo shorts look good on me. I'm a dad, that's what I do.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. This is our 100th episode. 100. That's crazy, Danny. I know, right? Fireworks everywhere. Like, kids running in like with those little like pop streamer things. Yeah. Like the Who's of Whoville or celebrating Christmas, only it's our 100th episode.
Yeah, 100 episodes is a big milestone. And not just because 100, but the realization that we've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we really have, because it's a weekly thing. So that's practically 2 years of episodes.
It is. Yep.
That's a big chunk of time. And I'm kind of proud of it, to be honest.
I'm very proud of it, honestly. We've covered
Good.
a ton of topics. We've talked to a lot of people, and the best part is that we have nowhere even scraped the bottom of the barrel for being able to, have guests on and talk about all kinds of different topics. So yeah, it's exciting. It's been an interesting 2 years, and it's been an interesting just this past year, honestly. At the end of 2021. I had found an article that stated that we were actually one of the top stay-at-home dad podcast by this one article, which was really cool. And I, got on again just this, past month or whatever, and looked, and sure enough, we're still in their newest article, the #1 stay-at-home dad podcast, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's really cool. Yeah. So I take a lot of pride in the fact that, we are putting out the amount of just episodes and content and whatnot, and connecting with people too. I mean, our audience base has grown significantly from last year.
Yeah. And I will say, for me, I mean, what I always wanted for it was just a podcast for our network, just for our guys to talk to them and hopefully have them talk back and talk about the subjects that are very important for us as at-home dads, and dads with young kids and dads with older kids, and just have a much better idea of it. But it's really grown. I mean, it's really gotten to be more far-reaching, to dads of all types, but also just families. And we've had people that, yeah, my family listens to it, maybe not their children, hopefully, maybe they do, maybe they don't, but kids think that's boring, and I get it. But the fact that we're doing such a good thing for the network, which is that's my heart, that's my passion.
Yeah.
But to reaching to other dads that even, aren't even an at-home dad, but just a dad that wants to be involved with their family. So.
Yeah. Well, and two, I mean, we are currently 3% of our audience are female, which is,
Nice.
that number was like 1% when we like last year. So the fact that we've, gotten some more female listeners, which is really cool. And also too, it's, like our age range goes from about 23 all the way up to 59, it says. So with the middle of the road being like the highest number, which makes total sense. I mean, think about it, right? It's usually like 35 to 44. Like that's kind of like the highest number, but still like it's a great age range. Like we got all kinds of different people in listening. So I'm excited for it, man. It's going to be an interesting year for 2023. And I want to talk about that a little bit as well. But I got one thing I want to do. I bought a specific bottle, and I can't really see it very well, of Whiskey War. It's from the High Banks Distillery out of Columbus, Ohio, and it's their barrel proof. And I bought it specifically for celebrations, and I've got this to celebrate.
Nice.
So
nice. Good pop.
Pour a little bit of that. This was actually a gold medal winner at the World Spirits competition out in San Francisco last year. So really good stuff. Coming in at like 115 proof.
Wow.
Yeah. It's got a lot of strength. Got a little strength to it, but the flavors in it are great. So yeah. So cheers to 100 episodes and more to come.
I have an imaginary drink in my hand. I swear.
It's all good.
I'm at my brother-in-law's house in north of Minneapolis. We came up for after Christmas, and I'm in his office, and unsurprising, he has no alcohol whatsoever in his office because he works mostly remotely. So come on, man, you got anything sitting around here? No, this is my office, man. We can't be drinking on the job. This isn't Wisconsin. Can't have a beer at work.
Different lifestyle, just one state over is how that goes.
So how has your end of year and your holidays been? Because this will be coming out after the 1st, right?
It will. Well, yeah. I'm going to try to push it out by the end of this week, just because I'd like to get it in before the end of the year. So if it works out, it'll publish probably on Friday.
Awesome.
So that's my plan. I just kind of wanted to get the 100th in there before the end of the year type of deal. So, but yeah, no, it's been good. My sister-in-law and brother-in-law and niece were in town, and we got to spend Christmas with them, and it was a lot of fun. It was very interesting having 3 dogs in the house. And these are not small dogs by any means. I mean, you've got my Aussie Shepherd, you know how big she is. And then they brought their 2 pit bulls, which are super sweet dogs. They get a lot of bad press, but their dogs are just super sweet. Their one dog is named Peaches. She wanted nothing to do with me when I was at her place last time, but here, like, she wanted everything to do with me and was like in my face, like just wanted to be cuddled, and it was really sweet. And then just recently they acquired a puppy. He's 6 months old. His name is Charlie, and he was in heaven playing with our 18-month-old puppy. So they were running around in the snow and, chewing on each other and all kinds of they were having a blast. It was quite fun watching them. So Christmas was good. Just had a great time with family and cooked up some New York strip steaks for Christmas dinner. And my wife did a sweet potato, brown butter, sage. Like she chopped up the sweet potatoes and put it all in like a big casserole dish kind of thing and cooked them up. They were delicious. So good. But yeah, awesome. It was fun. How about you, man? So you're with family up in Minnesota, right?
Today, yeah, for Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day we were at home, and then we left on that Monday after Christmas Day to come up here yesterday. So, and it was really eventful because we didn't have anybody at our house. But on Christmas Eve, when it was wind chill of -30, the heat went out.
Oh yeah, I heard. Oh my
And
gosh.
yeah, and I'm like, oh, okay, all right, this could be awful, this could be nothing. Let me, take a look at it. And I've done a little bit of HVAC, so I have at least an understanding of how to crack the case, so to speak, and open it up so that I'm not completely scared of looking under the hood. So I checked it, and there's a diagnostic on it, and it's basically showing that one of the pressure switches is not opening.
Oh
And so I told Marnie, I said, look, it could be the pressure switch is dead, or, and this was complete conjecture on my point, but my thought was that maybe the flue vent is not open. Maybe if there's a bird's nest in it, or honestly, maybe if it froze.
yeah.
And that's actually what had happened. Is the flue vent goes out through the attic, through the roof, and it froze at the top. And the guy basically climbed up on the roof, took a copper pipe and stuck it in there and busted all the ice out. He said he wanted to try to get it out if he could, but it just is really difficult to do.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I can do that job, but I opted with Marnie's approval, of course, as handling the budget, that we just take some money out of the emergency fund, because that's why we have an emergency fund. That's why we have a budget, and let some guy in his 20s climb up on the roof in the foot of snow and foot on the roof of snow and bust that ice out for us.
Yeah,
So,
because you really don't want to be in the emergency room.
right.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, he was also, I mean, I'm not as nimble as I used to be. I would do it if I was 20 something, or even 30, maybe
Oh,
even 40
sure.
something. I would do it, but I just looked at it, I'm like, if an old fat man falls off the roof, it's going to be way, way more damaging than, honestly, in my
Hey, there's already
20s.
been a movie made about that, okay?
Yeah, right. Yeah. And honestly, in my 20s, I'm pretty sure I could have jumped off that roof, because it's only like maybe 10, 12 feet to the gutter line or so in that area. So it's barely a story. I'm pretty sure you could just jump off and be okay in your 20s. Because just,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. But me, yeah, I was looking at it. I'm like, okay, what's the best scenario? I save what, honestly, a couple $100. It was expensive. Worst scenario, like you said, I go to the emergency room.
Yeah.
If I and on Christmas Eve, man, and then ruin
Yeah.
Christmas Day because, like, oh, we wish your dad was here. We'll video call him in from the hospital or something. I don't
Right.
know. So
Exactly.
yeah, it was worth it. It was an excellent investment, and the heat came right back on. And honestly, I told Marnie, I said, I just want you to know, if this does happen again, I'm just going to go up there and do it and take care of it, because it is. Because I looked at it, I'm like, okay, so I know it's frozen. I know this is the problem, or it
Yeah.
must be, before he even showed up. I'm like, but what do I do about it? I can't, like, take a hair dryer up there and melt the ice. That's not, like, wrap it in a heating coil or something. No, that's not going to work either. I couldn't think of any way, because I was thinking of a solid chunk of ice, right?
Oh,
Like you'd get out of your freezer. And he was like, no, it's kind of more like just heavy snow. It's just the moisture just kind of forms ice crystals. It's really not that, but the pressure gauge is so very sensitive, as it needs to be. So
sure.
yeah, that was my Christmas Eve. So I'm not complaining. Honestly, it was adventurous. We have a, kerosene heater in case things got bad. But the house was only 59.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
that's
Bundle
certainly
up and
doable.
yeah, bundle up and
Yeah,
wait for some help. Yeah.
right.
They're
Yeah.
a nice part. I mean, at least the memory is that the heat went out, it was fixed. It's all
Mhm.
good versus the heat went out, dad broke
Yeah.
his back
Yeah.
trying to be the hero.
Pipes froze while we were at the emergency room. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all
It
that
was
jazz.
just a cascade failure at that point. So
Right,
yeah.
exactly. But
But
yeah, so that's man, yeah, that does sound like an adventure, but I'm glad that it was able to get fixed for you guys fast. And I
mhm.
saw where there were lots of people all over the country dealing with different elements of that storm that blew through. And still to this
Oh,
day, some of them are. I feel really bad for the people of Buffalo right now. By yeah,
mhm.
they're just getting walloped this year
Yeah.
with snow.
It's
It's
terrible.
crazy. So I saw
And even
like
my friends in Georgia, it was in the 20s in Georgia,
yeah.
and my friends were like, this is fine, but can we not do this anymore? And I'm like, I get it, because living in Georgia, when it's 80, 90 all year and then you hit 20, it's a huge difference. So I definitely am not making fun of any of my friends in any weather for not, for the drop being difficult for them. But
The devil got frozen down in Georgia.
yeah, he did. But I admit, living in Wisconsin, the cold is not that bad. I mean, it is, but what I'm saying, I can handle it much better.
Right.
You get acclimated really quick, and oh yeah, 20, I can handle 20. I went outside yesterday to walk the dog at 5 degrees, I think.
Yeah.
And I just had on my jacket and my hat. Just walked her out there, let her go do her business, and then walked around a little bit and came back in. And I'm like, it's really not that cold today. I wonder what's going on. No, it's 5. But again, you acclimated to -30 wind chill for a day or two. Yeah.
Yeah, we had the wind chills is what was really quite chilling
Yeah.
for us. Once that went away, even with it being like 10 degrees, it was actually felt pretty good for the most part, like you were talking about. So yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, the weather is going to do what the weather's going to do, and so
Mhm.
just survive and move on.
And Christmas was good for it. Do you want to talk about Christmas presents?
Yeah, we can do that. That's sure.
Well,
Yeah, Christmas was good. See, presents wise, so it's one of those things. Adults, a lot of times it's you buy what you want during the year kind of thing.
mhm.
We actually just had put a bunch of stuff in like the Amazon cart. It was like, hey, these are the things that I'd like, and so a lot of that got purchased. So like I got a V-cut cigar cutter
Mhm.
that I've been wanting. Um, my wife did sneak one good one in on me because I was on gruntstyle.com's website, which is where I get a lot of my military shirts and things like that.
Mhm.
And I had pulled up the sweatshirt that says salty on it, and I'm actually wearing it right now. And I was like, man, this would be I just like it, just looked cool. Like it reminded me actually of what they call in naval boot camp is a Smurf outfit, which is navy blue top and sweatpants type of deal, with like the yellow print on it. And
Oh,
they were comfortable. People make fun of them all the time, but they were comfortable. I thought they were pretty comfortable to wear. But I just left it up on the web on the browser, not for her to like do anything with, but she went to go pay a bill and saw it there, and so she ended up purchasing it. And it got here like a day or two before Christmas, so that was a fun surprise because I didn't know that was coming.
nice.
And I surprised her with some different shirts. She loves houseplants.
Mhm.
And so I found her a couple of fun novelty shirts at Target that have like house plants on. One said like no one ever, something about like having a bunch of house plants, too many house plants, no one ever said, something along those lines. So
Mhm. I've got
so
too many houseplants. Said no one ever.
yeah, there it is.
Kind of.
So yeah, so she got some stuff like that, and then I surprised her with a bottle of Woodford Reserve double oaked, which is her favorite bourbon,
Yeah.
as well. So that's what they got. And the kids, they got all kinds of fun stuff. Hezekiah got his first RC car, and he's having a blast with
Oh
that.
yeah.
My daughter got like, oh my gosh, there's so many clothes and
Mhm.
Lego sets. So she got the Encanto house Lego
Oh,
set, which is
cool.
really neat. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the one that she got that her and Corey were going to put together was the Lego succulent set.
Mhm.
So all the little house plants in
Yeah.
Lego form. You're not going to kill those.
Yeah. Those will
And so
last forever.
yeah, so they got that. Hezekiah got the Groot, the
Mhm.
figure, like the figurine. It's really neat actually. Um and so he got that, and then he got a Mandalorian like mini kit of like the I can't Razor's Crest, like the
Mhm.
small version of it. So yeah, so there's just fun stuff like that. What about you, man? What did you guys get?
Well, having 4 kids, we had a lot of presents. We really did. And what we tried to do is the Christmas mindset, or the gift buying mindset of something you need, no, something you want, something you need, something to wear, something to read, right?
Like that, yeah.
So we had those things, and that worked out really well because my like for James, he loves the cats. and he's really kind of hard to buy for because he won't really tell you what he loves. You have to kind of force it out of him almost. So Marnie took a picture of the cat and had it put on a pair of socks. So it's got the cat's face all over the socks, and that's your something to wear. And James opened it up, he goes, "Is this Rory? Oh, I love these." And he put them on immediately, and I had to make him take them off after
Oh.
like 2 days. I'm like, "Dude, no, you need to watch this."
Is this the cat that tried to like run away, or is that
No,
that
this
cat?
is the shelter cat. The
okay.
the cat that was at the shelter the longest. And yeah, so her face looks like a Rorschach test, so I called her Rorschach, and they call her Rory. So
Okay.
it's Rory's face, so that was
Like
one of the coolest things. And then I have to say, we didn't intend to do this, but a game came up for the VR for the Quest, and it's Iron Man.
Oh,
Right?
oh
And
yeah, I saw
it was yeah,
I saw
and
a
it was
commercial with that in it. How is it?
way better than I thought it could be.
Oh wow.
I mean, it's amazing. It's just like what you'd want it to be. I mean, it was on sale, so I told Marcus, I said, "Look, I'm going to get that for my headset, but you can play it," because he was asking for it. But I don't want him to own the game because he won't share. And that's just no. It's
Know
going to
your
be my
kid.
game, and
Know your kid.
Right, exactly. You need to, because the other kids want to play, and it was amazing. I mean, you fall, you jump out of an airplane, right? Because it got hit by, I mean, this is in the preview, so I don't think it's spoiling anything, but it got hit, it's got a hole in it, and you jump out to go get your briefcase, and you hold your hand up, and you see your hand and your arm in the VR, and then the gauntlet comes in and stank onto your hand, and then it covers your forearm, and then the other one clank, and you get the chest piece, and then you get the helmet, and that's all you get. It didn't go any further than that.
So you're getting the Mark V
yeah,
setup then. That's cool.
Yeah, and then you fly around, and like you fly with your hands. You got to put your hands behind you to like thrust, and you shoot your repulsors, with a different button and all that. And it's just really
that sounds fun
because
that does sound
you
fun.
feel like you're Iron Man flying around. So that's great. But imagine this: if you're a big superhero fan, like my kids are, and your dad has that game, and then he gets that game for the other headset, and you and your dad can fly around together
as Iron
in
Man,
the same world as Iron Man.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and I'm not positive it networks. I don't want anybody to go, "Well, Danny said it works for multiplayer." I think it does. I think you can party up on it. And I can't imagine anything. I mean, like Superman and Batman. Marcus has always said, "Well, Dad, I'm Batman, but you're Superman." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll take that. I handle that. That's good for me." It is not true at all, but sure, let's go. But to be able to fly around in a virtual reality with your dad as like his friend and sidekick and fight crime and all that stuff, I'm geeking out. I really
That's
am.
awesome.
I can't wait to have that moment with him.
Can you be other people that like other types that can fly like these
that I know
just
you can
Iron
be
Man?
Other suits, just suits. I so far
Yeah,
we
that's
haven't
what I
played
mean.
very much. So
That's what I'm talking about, like
can,
the other suits, because I mean there are the multiple different types of suits, and
yeah,
even the original, like that kind of stuff. So that
so
would
I
be
don't
cool
know
too.
for sure.
That's
but yeah,
to me that would be the thing. Like, all right, which ones can I get into?
Right,
because they all do different things. So that would be pretty wild, especially like that was the case. Yeah, you could do like the 2-player with that. That would be a lot of fun.
Right, and like Iron Man and War Machine, or Iron Patriot.
Yes.
Yeah, I would absolutely do that, because that's the kind of game too where you can get with your child and be a little competitive with your child.
Yes.
In that, yeah, we're both fighting bad guys, but I'm sorry, that's 17. What did you get? 4? Yeah, okay, step it up, kid. When you're counting your kills or whatever, like Gimli and Legolas in Lord of the Rings, where you that camaraderie, but also competition.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I don't even know if it is multiplayer. I read that it was, and I read that it was not, but we didn't have time really to research it.
I'm sure
I think it
out.
should be. You can party up, and yeah, I mean, it's amazing.
That's cool.
Be superheroes together. So, but
speaking of video games, this isn't something that I had, but I saw this one, which was really fun. So apparently there's a Mario Kart style game where they're remote control cars. You set up the course in your house, but you're playing the game on the TV and the cars are going around the house.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so like those characters are going around and yeah, you're watching it on TV and then everything you see on TV is actually the room that it's in. So it's not like a Mario world, it's actually like racing around like the dining room and the kitchen and whatnot in your
Mhm.
house type of thing. And I was like, dude, like that is a game that I would love to have.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
I had a big house that I could do it in, like that would be a lot of fun.
Now, that's an amazing idea too. Because
Right?
because if the cars have or anything like a Roomba that can go around and map your house out and kind of get an this is where everything is, this is
Yep.
how far apart it is, and then you get to race through that, that'd be amazing. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Yeah. So that was a cool
Especially if
one.
you can blue shell them.
Right. There you go. Yeah, you get to throw
Ghosts.
out little shells. So you got the VR game.
Yeah.
Anything did Marnie surprise you with any kind of
She
gift?
did. Now Marnie and I have had an ongoing issue, let's say, or discussion that Marnie needs a list. She cannot go off list very well. She can't decide for me what she wants to get me. She has to have a list of things and she will buy a thing from that list. And I'm the opposite type of gift giver. I don't really like lists. It feels mechanical and I don't want to do it. And I will just buy you something. So yes, she got me things that were on my list, which I was very happy to get. But she went off list for one thing, which was a display, which is the metal signs. You put it there, a magnetic that you adhere to the wall, and then the metal sign connects to it. And it's a landscape from the game Destiny 2.
Oh,
And so you basically have this huge kind of alien sunset with a few spaceships, let's say, flying through it. And then you're one character in silhouette in the front of it. And it's just a very nice looking piece of art.
that's cool.
I never asked for it. I didn't even ask for like a display for my. She was completely off book for this one, and she did perfect. It was great.
That's awesome.
It was right where it needed to be. And I got her because she's a huge budget person and she does work with spreadsheets constantly. I got her a coffee mug with a picture of the Excel logo and the spreadsheets on it, and it says "Freak in the sheets."
Love it.
And
Oh my
she was like,
gosh.
"Oh my god, this is the best cup ever." I'm like, "Isn't it? It's right what you want to be. This is, it's a little dirty, okay, but it's also the fact that you are a complete nerd, and spreadsheets are just like your bread and butter."
That's so
So
funny.
yeah, that's a win. And then our family gift, which is something we try to do every year if we can, is a small telescope.
Oh,
It's
cool.
more of a spotting scope than an actual telescope. But what we wanted to be able to do is to give the kids something that they could get to and use and access easily and still put it on a tripod and let them look at the planets and you can see the planet more clearly, but not so expensive. And if they do knock it over or if they bump the tripod and it falls in the lake, which all of these things are possibilities with my children. So it would be easier to get it back out, get it fixed, get it repaired, or honestly replace it without breaking the budget. So
Yeah.
yeah, so we started with a scope for the family, and I don't think they realize how cool it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh, need a telescope. Yeah, we wanted one of those. Like, you guys wait.
Yeah,
You
you
go
have
out
no
in a
idea.
clear night and see the aurora borealis, and then see like Venus or Jupiter. Yeah,
I was gonna
it's
say
gonna be amazing.
you're far enough north. Is that something that you can actually see as the aurora up there?
We're almost.
Yeah.
We need to go. We would need to go a little bit further north, but it's not. I mean, it's accessible easily.
Yeah,
I
that's
think at the
awesome.
most an hour north, we can definitely see it. And
Wow.
we're in a very rural area, so there's not a lot of light pollution. Um, yeah, I
That's
mean,
cool.
it's a good spot for stargazing.
That's awesome, man. Definitely. Wow. That's fun because that's something that my kids would love to do. That anytime we go camping, like they're always looking
Yeah,
around at
right.
things. Like
And if
I got
you
an app on my phone that we usually are looking at stars on that.
mhm,
To,
same.
yeah, so that's a good time too.
And the thing with camping is we're going to be able to take a scope, but not like the big telescope with the big box. And this is something that we could pack in a backpack, because
Nice.
it's only maybe 12 inches, 12, 14 inches long. So yeah,
That's great.
works well.
I love that. That's awesome, man.
Mhm.
What a great family gift.
Yeah, it worked out really well.
Yeah.
Not necessarily my idea, but I did have at least a hand in it. So yeah, I'm gonna take a yes, it is excellent idea.
Hey, you can take credit for it too. It's all good. I'm sure you're part of the team, so that's how that works.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, hey,
So anyway.
so with with the turn of the year coming around, it's getting to be that point where the excitement of like what does the year
Mhm.
2023 hold for people, especially for the podcast and that kind of thing. I wanted to talk about some upcoming uh maybe changes, I guess. Nothing bad.
Mhm.
But just maybe like a different look on some things. So, um, for one, I've been mentioning that I have been looking for a job, something that fits within my passion, and things like that. And like, I think this was about a month ago. There was a local brewery that had announced that they were looking for an event coordinator. And I was like, well, shoot. I mean, I've done Home Dad Con for 3 years. Like, I probably fit into that mold. I'll check it out. And ended up getting an interview from them. And it was a good interview.
Mhm.
First time I've
Yeah.
interviewed in like 6 years or more,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things where I was like, at the end of it, I was like, do I want this job? I don't know. Like I had questioned it, wasn't sure. And they actually, in the interview process, also mentioned that after they had filled that role, they would go and look for a social media person, which I was like, ooh, like that is more my bread and butter. And so they came back and they were like, oh, we're gonna go this other route. And so unfortunately, like this isn't gonna happen for you. And I said, that's fine. And I just kept after them and I said, hey, you mentioned a social media role. I'd love to interview for that.
Mhm.
And they were very much like excited by my like ability not to give up and continue to push. um and
Oh yeah.
so
Yeah.
and so I went from having a virtual interview to getting brought into the brewery and having an in-person interview with two of the owners, and had a great conversation with them about social media. In the process of that, I was talking a lot about like different events, and it all was like very organic in the conversation. But I was like, what's the community like around here, and how are you guys getting involved with them and all this other stuff, and kind of was almost talking myself back into the event
Mhm.
coordinator role in a way without realizing it. um but in the end, like, uh they had another person interview after me, so had to wait a couple of days. Eventually, like, they called me back and they said, hey, we want to talk to you about about a position at the brewery, but it's got a curveball involved in it. And I'm like, what does a curveball mean?
Right.
And they said, so we've interviewed you for both positions. um we had candidates picked out actually for the event coordinating. They came in, their in-person interviews were completely not good. They did not
Oh
work out
wow.
for us.
Mhm.
One was a bad interview. The other one was too much. They wanted too much money. They came in
Mhm.
with a lot of experience, and the brewer was like, we can't afford you. Um,
Yeah.
and then they said, the person we interviewed after you for the social media, we felt like that was like the role for them, and we'd like to re-offer you the event coordinator position role. And I was
Cool.
like, okay.
Yeah.
And they just were like, they're like, you seem to be very approachable, very coachable, um you know but you also have a lot of passion, and
Mhm.
you seem to really want to see this brewery do something amazing. And so for that, like, we'd like to have you come on. Not only that, they offered me like 10 grand over what they originally had told me they were going to hire me at. So I was like,
Sweet.
holy cow, comes with full benefits. So as of the beginning of January, I will be a full-time employee at Deadlow Brewing in here
Yay.
in town in Cincinnati. I'm super excited about it. I actually I'm not even like working for them yet. Like, I'm not on the payroll, but I have been writing down like events and like
Getting
with
stuff. Yeah.
all kinds of stuff. Like, well, because I'm also lining up like comedians and live music as well, because they do that kind of stuff. And so like I've been writing down like different people's names. Like I sent a thing out to like Tommy Riles, and I'm like, hey Tommy, I was like, guess what I'm doing now? Would you want to have a conversation? Maybe we can work something out. Love to have you come up and perform, that kind of thing, but just, things like that. And so it's just really
Awesome.
exciting. And I'm really looking forward to it. Honestly, like it just fits so well with what we're doing. And there's a lot of flexibility in it. Like they understand like,
Good.
the primary caregiver stuff and the fact that, I need to be able to get away to, pick up kids and all that kind of thing. And it's a family owned brewery. The restaurant is a family restaurant. It's just it's a perfect fit.
Yeah, it is perfect. That's exactly the word I was thinking of. And I have to tell you, I am so happy for you that you have, because one, the opportunity, right? Now I
Right.
know I wish there was a way no one needed money. I mean, I would love it if we were all just affluently wealthy and could handle it or whatever. But the fact of the matter is that we do need money. And when you reach a point where even if it's a little extra, you just need to do something, or you just want to do something. But having the opportunity to look around and say, well, what do I want to do for that money?
Right.
Is such a huge difference, a huge evolution, I think, in seeking and job seeking than where we've been in the past, where it was like, okay, what do you have open? I will do whatever. I just need money. And you're basically living to work.
Yeah.
Whereas is now it's more like, I'm working, yeah, I've got this job, but it's something I enjoy. It gives me the flexibility that I want. And I'm really just, working to live. I get what I need to do. And then I can, I'm going to enjoy it. Then I'm going to go home and be with my family and still pick them up and be there for drop off, be there for sick days and all that. That's amazing, man. I'm very, very happy for you.
Thank you. Yeah. I honestly, like, Corey said from the beginning, she's like, I want you to have a job that you want to go to every day, that like because that's her thing. Like she's like, I like going to my job and I like doing what I do, and there are going to be bad days, but there are more good days than bad days. And she's like, I don't want you just to take a job just because like we're trying to make money. Like I side hustle like a mofo, honestly. So like it's like I can make money if I want to, just doing different things, but to be able to get the opportunity to work in an industry that I've pretty much fell in love with over the past few years. And two, here's another thing. So like I had sent out a message to a bunch of different people, just telling them like, hey, I've got this interview and all this different stuff. One of the people who I really owe a lot of gratitude to is the owner for Cincy Brew Bus, who I worked for a short time as a tour guide. I told him about it, and he took it upon himself to personally call the owners at the brewery and vouch for me.
Nice.
And they told me that when they offered me the position, that they were like, he called and like really spoke highly of you. So yeah, it was wild. Like, and they're telling me this the whole time, and I'm like trying not to tear up because I'm like driving home. I'm just like, I really should pull over.
And it's such a good thing because, like you said, you can side hustle, and you do like with driving and everything, and you have those things. And the thing that I've heard from you is that you do this job, whatever it might, let's say driving Uber or whatever, and you don't love that, but you find things that you love when you do it. You find the positive of it. And we can do that. Bloom where you planted is a great mentality. But you can make that happen. But you're making it happen every single day, as opposed to going to a job like this that is a passion. It is something you're interested in, you've done previously, you feel fairly comfortable with it. This is great, man. I think it's fantastic news.
And to me, like the other thing, I really want other stay-at-home dads to understand that, like, when it comes time to like have to look for that job, like, one, don't be scared to put yourself out there. I was very transparent with them. Hey, like, this is what I've been doing for these past few years. Like, and the fact that, all the different things that I've been doing over the years, like, it just kind of fell in place. It's like, I was transparent about with them at the fact that like I had to teach myself how to do these other different things, and like all this other stuff. But like, by golly, I know how to do it. just as much
Right.
as any other person who went through college and paid all the thousands of dollars that they had to do it. Like I've figured out on my own, and I want guys that hear this to to feel confident in being able to put themselves out there and go for the position that makes them the happiest. Not for the fact that like, hey, I got to put money in the bank kind of deal, but I want to do this because this makes my heart happy. Like I can do all the things I need to do for my family, but at the same time too, like I go in like a, bolstered chicken, like with my chest out, like, hey, what's up? Like that kind of deal. So yeah. So it is very exciting. And I'm really looking forward to it. But it is going to bring some changes as far as how things kind of go with the podcast, because event coordinating, it doesn't mean that I have to be at the event the entire time, but when there is an event, I am expected to show up at the beginning and make sure things get rolling correctly. And of course, with high profile clients, to walk up, shake their hand, make sure everything's good, answer any questions before I take off for the evening, and let the staff deal with the rest of what's going on. So there could be some nights where I'm not able to record with you, Danny. I'm sad about that.
It is sad, but it's also good. It is growth.
Yeah.
It is moving in the direction, because one of the things that we have talked about in the past is how the network needs young dads. The convention needs young dads.
Yeah.
The board needs young dads, and that's just the process of, as your kids grow, it's going to be sad, but they need you less, for one thing. But we have people that will age out of being an at-home dad, or age out, and the change is just part of our living.
Right.
This is how we do it as a parent. You got to be, pivot every time. So yeah, it is sad. But I think of it as a positive thing because of how much growth it's going to give you.
Yeah.
And where you can go. And honestly, I think it opens up an opportunity for us to kind of scout out some co-hosts.
Yeah.
To look to the network and see who might be willing, interested, and also have the time, and therefore from that the personality to be on and co-host with me, or co-host with you if something comes up. If I ever find anything else to do, I doubt I will. I think I'm committed for life here.
I think you're good. Yeah, with your army of children, you're good.
Yeah, I'm still gonna be. I got a minimum of 10 years, and that's if they've all gone away to college or whatever, and if Elizabeth immediately leaves, then I've got 10 years. But yeah. So I'm kind of permanent in the network and permanent on the podcast. So,
but I am
good or for ill, guys, you're stuck with me.
Yeah,
but
I am excited though.
Play.
I am excited though about the fact that, like, getting to hear other dads in the organization's voice on things, because I feel like there are quite a few guys who, if you gave them the opportunity to get to have a conversation or talk about something that they're passionate about, you would get to learn a lot about them and just sort of see how things, how it's different in different areas. And that's to me, in a lot of ways, like, that's what this podcast is for. Like, it's, it's great that you and I partnered up and we're doing this, and I'm not going away. It's just, there's going to be times where I'm going to get pulled away for a little bit, but the thing with it being that, having those guys who are like, yeah, like, I'll step up and, do an hour conversation, like, or whatever, or whatever that looks like. So I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be really neat, and it's going to bring a different element to it. And two, this coming up is the start of what I'm going to don season 3 for us. And so
it is. Yes, I like it.
That's their part. It's season 3, so we got a new change coming in with season 3, and I think that those are the kind of things that keep a podcast lively is change. So I'm very excited about that, and we still have board members that we still have to interview as well. So there's plenty to bring on, that's for sure. So, but yeah, no, it's gonna be exciting. Do you have any plans for the new year, like whether it be New Year's Eve or the actual whole of the new year?
For New Year's Eve, we're going to be here. Well, we're going to be up at the lake.
Okay.
Two Inlets Lake. It's up in I don't know, northwest
One of
Wisconsin, or Miss Minnesota. I'm really out of my element here. All
it's
I
one
know
of
is
those
like,
1,000 lakes up there in
yeah,
Minnesota.
Marnie says drive here, I will drive here. I follow the GPS. I've arrived. Here are my children and my dog. You're welcome. But we don't have any major plans. We're going to be with her family. We're probably not going to stay up until midnight, unless the kids want to for some reason. But it hasn't been a tradition, because at the beginning of it, the kids were too young
Yeah.
and we were too tired. And then the kids were a little older and we were too tired. And now we're older and we're too tired. And it's just,
Yep.
it isn't enough of a special moment for Marnie and I really for us to stay up. But for the new year, I have not set any goals yet. I don't have anything seasonal for the kids right now that we're not already working on, other than some physical activities through the winter. I want to go snowmobiling. I want to go snowshoeing. And I want to take the kids skating, ice skating.
Oh, there
We've
you go.
done none of those things. We've
Okay.
never been ice skating. We've never done any of them. So those are all the things. Really, it's just more of a physical, let's go try basically exploration.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I'm looking at it, is let's go explore this park, this state park in the snow.
That sounds
The
like. Do you guys
difference
have a toboggan run or anything at any of the state parks? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, man,
one of
that's
our
cool.
parks in town. It's 300 feet, I think.
Oh, wow.
Length. Yeah, it's a long run. So yeah, and yeah, that one's a little. I'm hoping that there's a weight limit, and I cannot do it because it looks a little. Again, you get older. I'm like, well, what if I fall off that thing? Oh yeah, you're not getting up. You're gonna lay there face down on the snow until the paramedics show up, sir. Because yeah, I don't know. I'm not. I'm too soft, man. I'm too soft.
There's a state park in northern Indiana that I grew up around where we would always as a youth group go up and do that. It's cool because like when it ends, like you're in like a confined lane going down, but as soon as you flatten out, like it's just open land and you're just gonna go until you can't go no further. And it's like, how far can you go kind of deal. You put the right people on there, man, and it's like you might be in the next county by the time it stops. So yeah, that's fun stuff though. Yeah, 300 feet. That's a heck of a run.
Yeah, I think it's 300 feet. Yeah, it's a big one. Yeah,
that's cool.
And I may be remembering it incorrectly, as that does happen, but I remember from last year it was huge, and I thought, wow, what do I do now? And the answer was you should have bought a toboggan in the fall, because they're not selling them in the winter.
Oh, they don't do a rental or anything like that?
Not at this park. I mean,
okay, these were rentals, like you just got one of the flat bottom ones that like hoop up in the front type of deal, but it was a rental. Like your admission fee to go covered having like basically like you got a toboggan, you ran down, you brought the toboggan back, it actually got hoisted up and you got back in line and then walked up. So like it was a continual thing, like where they were coming back to you. So
nice.
Nice.
Yeah, this is more of a go to the park and there's the toboggan ride, or the run. You go up there with your toboggan and enjoy yourself. I don't think there's even any employees watching it. It was more of a, but yeah, it's very survival of the fittest. No. Yeah, but we're going to do that. And I want to go snowmobiling very, very much. I want to get the kids on a snowmobile and just have them experience. But honestly, I want to go snowshoe hiking. That's my thing. And I kind of want to do it without the kids.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that as selfish as it sounds, but I think we all understand that you need that quiet time.
Oh yeah.
And I can't imagine walking out into the park, where no one's been since it snowed, and just kind of heading off down the trail by yourself, and everything is so still.
Fresh snow.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Untouched.
It's just beautiful. I'm really looking forward to that, but I'm probably going to do it with the kids a couple times before I get to go.
That is fun though, because like if you stop and listen, like you hear things that you might not otherwise hear. So that's cool. To me, like that just reminds me of one of my favorite shows to watch with the kids, because my daughter really loves it, which is the Mountain Men show, because they got guys that do stuff like that. She loves that show. Like
really cool.
Yeah, she really does. It's pretty funny. She's got some of her, like she's got favorite characters and stuff that she likes, but yeah, like just she likes watching them, go out and snowmobile and hunt marten and, you know, other different
Nice.
like lynx and other furry creatures type of deal up in
Yeah.
Alaska and stuff like that. So yeah, that'll be fun, man. That sounds like a great time. If you do that, definitely take some pictures. I got to hear some stories on that one.
Mhm.
So that'll be cool.
You know, and I'm looking at it. I really think I'm at a point where I need to buy a GoPro and like
Yeah, there
just
you
do
go.
images and video from that, because I really have never, I don't know, I feel it's for me self-aggrandizing. Like, look what I'm doing, but no, it's more of a, look what happened. We were on this thing and I
Yeah.
shared this trail. Like I saw this barn owl in the tree and I was able to, because I don't want to
I
take my phone and I definitely don't want to take my camera,
came up with you
so
found a Yeti. Yeti.
right.
Sorry. Little Okie Dokie Brothers. Yeti. It's a very constant song in our house.
Is it?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, love that song. Oh my gosh. But yeah, no, that sounds like fun, man, for sure. I think for me the other thing is just I'm looking forward to hopefully dropping some weight. Not that I've gained a lot, but just trying to get back into a little bit better shape. So I'm kind of planning out how I want to do that. And just, trying to stick to a specific regiment on it. So I haven't quite figured that out completely yet, but I've got some ideas and I just need to kind of narrow it down. And also too, like, it's one of those things where it's like, with the new job, how does that play into it? And I don't want that to be an excuse either. So that's one of my high things that I'm trying to keep up there is like there's time in the day to do things.
Right.
Do it. Like it's very possible. And so that's the thing that, like, I don't want to be like, oh, I can come up with an excuse for it. And then what? Like 6 months down the road when I'm not where I want to be, like, then I'm going to kick myself. So yeah, that's probably the biggest thing for me is like, all right, what do I need to do? How do I hold to this? And so that's the other big thing that I'm running with. So we'll see where that
Self-care,
goes.
man.
Yeah, it is.
Self-care.
It's very much that.
And
And I bought the jersey, the National at Home Dad
biking.
Network cycling. Yeah, I got
Yeah. The cycling
that's
track.
it's coming. So it's like, hey, get out, show that thing off. And
Mhm.
two, like
Right.
where the brewery is, there's a bike trail there. So, I could always go ride and
We're like, hey, Brock took his break. Where's he at? Oh, he's riding.
yeah, he's out
What?
riding the trail.
But yeah, he's that guy. He's and
Yeah.
to be that guy. And also, honestly, the things that motivate you are things like, okay, so I'm going to wear this is it a bib or a jersey? I can't remember, but
The jersey,
it has,
so there's the jersey and the bib is basically the shorts, but they have like,
yeah,
they come up over your shoulder type of deal.
it's a wrestling unitard. Yeah,
basically, yes, it is.
So you have the National At Home Dad Network logo on it. Dads Don't Babysit on it.
Right.
And this is an opportunity for you to go out and advertise.
Yep.
To do a little marketing, and for you, it motivates you to market other people, to help other people succeed in that way, to be out there being the voice of, hey, this is a great organization. You guys should take a look at it. And that's why being an event coordinator works well for you and being in social media works for you. And I got to say, man, that's a huge motivator if you think about it.
Yeah.
Having that jersey to be able to go, oh, I need to go ride today because I want to go tell my friends or tell people about my friends.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah, you should definitely cash in on that one because that's going to be something that'll motivate you all year long.
Right. That's that's where I'm headed towards in that way. So
yeah, I love it.
Yeah. But no, so I'm excited for this year, man, and I hope that anybody listening to is excited. I honestly, like, I'd love for people to send us messages and share what you're looking forward to for 2023. What your goals are.
School. Call us and leave us a message on Anchor.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Old school, but let's do it.
Do it that way. Yeah. If you're in Discord, send us a DM, like if you're on, Instagram or whatever, same thing. Like I see all that stuff. So definitely do that. But yeah, I mean, we want to hear from you. So don't just sit here and listen to this and then be like, oh yeah, that, like, tell us. We want to know what it is so that, we can shout it out. Like, and if you have like a success during the year, like, share it with us. Like, we want to celebrate with you. I think that's a big thing that well, we didn't really get to do much this year because people didn't really utilize it. And it's such an easy thing to do, to just send us a quick little message and let us celebrate with you the accomplishments that are going on. So I hope to hear from quite a few listeners because of that.
Yeah, I want to hear your parenting wins.
Yes. Parenting wins, self-care wins, all that.
I hope
jazz.
everybody.
Yeah,
that helps everybody.
Definitely. But anyway, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Again. That's all I got. I ain't no horns. I brought noise. I shouldn't say I brought. I bought noisemakers for this, but I left them at home, just like my microphone. I was completely unprepared for this podcast. But I will say, in my defense, I was packing for 6 people and a dog.
You get a pass.
I did overall pretty well.
Yeah, you get a pass on that one. All right. Well, we'll talk to everybody next week, and hopefully your new year is full of fun. And
hey, see you next year.
See you next year.
Right? Yeah.
Bye now.
I'm a dad, that's what I do.